7, Mid-South West 3. There is now a luncheon break.
It's my pleasure now to ask John if he'd say a few words to you.
Thanks very much, Robson. To Ray Mullins, the representative of the Mine High Schools Association. Being a non-school teacher, it's always good to come back and see a lot of my friends that I've met over the years. Hewitt is right that I've been coming to these particular gatherings for a long, long time. The Australian Rugby Union sees schools rugby as very important. At the moment you here, this is probably one of the first major things that you've attended of a representative nature. The combined high schools do an enormous amount of work about developing football. And in fact, if you look back through the players who played for Australia, say on Saturday, and some of the recent players, there was an enormous number of people there from the combined high schools. Now it's no flight of fancy to say that somewhere in this room there are people that will play for New South Wales. Somewhere in this room are people that will play for Australia. And if you really have some ability and you love the game, Pope Rodriguez would say you must really get on and really try for the very best. You can represent Australia and you can represent New South Wales. But the game of rugby goes far beyond that. The game of rugby looks after the players that are very good, and it also looks after the players that just love the opportunity to play a game with your mates, enjoy the social side. And there are people here that represent various clubs. A lot of the school teachers here have played rugby themselves over the years that have been able to go and play for different clubs and also have tours away to all sorts of countries. At the very top level, Australia has a policy at the moment of trying to do something for players apart from Australian players. And in fact, we have a team going away at the end of this year which we call the Emerging Players Tour. And they go to Spain, Italy, the Netherlands, England, and somewhere else. The Australian side will probably go to Romania before much longer. They go to Canada, the United States, Argentina, England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, and those are the places that you can go to yourself. You can go there as a player representing Australia, or you can go away with a club side, be it a country team or be it a Sydney club side. But basically you're here to enjoy yourself with this particular carnival. For those of you that are coming for the very first time, I hope you've enjoyed it. I have a great admiration for the way that these things are run. And I think that the organisation for fitting so many teams and so many players and get through the carnival in 3 or 4 days represents a great deal of efficiency. But above all, apart from listening to people like myself or Pope Rodriguez, the essential ingredient about your own involvement in rugby is enjoy yourself. If you enjoy yourself, you'll enjoy rugby and you'll enjoy your involvement. Thanks very much for having me.
It's my extreme pleasure to introduce you to a fellow tonight who's a local fellow who's made it all come true in the last couple of years. He's back in town. It's a pleasure to see him here, and I just call upon Jim Watkins to say a few words. Thanks, Jim.
I'd like to welcome all the officials and players across Harbour and their parents and all the organisers. Just like to say good luck to all the guys tomorrow for their games. Like I said, just say the times I've had